was a film called Strangers on the Train.
Oh yeah, I still got to see a whole bunch of Hitchcock stuff. It's just I got to catch up on a lot.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, the guy's a goddamn legend in the film industry. Ever since he started his directing career in 1922, you've been in a movie every year, sometimes twice a year, for nearly 4 decades straight. And keep in mind, with his most seminal horror classic, Psycho, there was a 3-year gap between that and The Birds. A long time he'd ever gone not making a movie.
Yeah, let's get into the plot of this film.
Of course.
Before we get into the plots, I feel like we should issue a spoiler warning.
Yeah.
Yes, a spoiler warning is underway.
You have been warned.
You have been warned. You have been warned. You have been warned.
Anyway, moving on.
All right.
A woman named Marion Crane has stolen $4,000 from her employer and is now on her way out of town.
And yeah, she's playing
by a cop.
It's sort of like, sorry, mate. Yeah? Sorry, but I was thinking, yeah, she takes the money, and of course, it's more of a sort of red herring thing in a way, because in a way it doesn't really matter after the first half. I love how Hitchcock gets you so invested in Marion Crane, and then suddenly kills her off halfway through in the shower scene. Now that was a novel trick for the time, and one that Hitchcock was like, you don't show up late for a screening. Do not allow people late for a screening, because the thing used to be that people went in a random time during a movie. So yeah,
agreed.
This is probably as well what makes in a way Marion Crane so memorable, because she so much quite a bit in this film that at first we think, oh yeah, she's easy. She's going to be the main character. And probably the other reason is because she was on the poster.
Exactly. Not to mention, the whole time she's heading out of town, she's constantly paranoid of everyone around her, thinking that she's going to get arrested or something. It should be also note that Marion Crane herself is actually played by Janet Leigh, who in real life is the mother of Jamie Lee Curtis, who plays Laurie Strode in John Carpenter's Halloween.
Which will be a review that we'll get to later.
Yeah. Another interesting fun fact is that Janet Leigh herself actually made a cameo appearance in Halloween H2O as a fellow teacher alongside her own daughter.
Yeah.
I just find that pretty neat.
yeah.
Anyway, of course, on her way out of town, she is stopped by a cop. The cop asks her what's the hurry, and then she stops by a car sale place, gets a new one, and now finally comes across the Bates Motel.
Oh yeah.
Where she meets a young man named Norman Bates.
I want to go back to the cops for a second. Hitchcock had a big fear of cops, and so he'd often make them unsympathetic in his movies, because he had an incident in his childhood where he became afraid of police, and thus he used them more as antagonists most of the time.
Yikes. Like Reject said, it's at this point we now come to the infamous Bates Hotel, where Marion runs into the owner of the motel, a young Norman Bates, played especially well by Anthony Hopkins.
But Anthony Perkins, actually.
Oh, my...
Easy mistake to make sometimes, but the names, I know, it gets Perkins. Yes.
Yeah, Hopkins was Lecter, Perkins was Bates. Easy mistake. But honestly, Norman Bates is my favorite character in the entire movie. Hell, I like him even more than Marion Crane. And he's not like us.
Yeah.
Especially in one scene that I really feel like is probably one of my favorite scenes, of course, in the entire film, is that scene where Marion Crane and him have, I guess you could say, dinner with each other in a room full of stuffed owls, and the atmosphere and the way it sets the tone of this film.
Yes.
Holy moly, it is already creepy, chilling, all the way to start.
Definitely, it's the like shadows in that scene, and the taxidermy, and you can just sort of see you focus more on the form of the birds than anything else, because the film's in black and white, obviously. There's the Bates Motel neon sign that just stands out with its light. There's the creepy atmosphere, it's the outside and inside of the buildings. There's the whole, feels like you're focusing intently on these characters in the horror. There's no color to liven things up or anything.
You know what else is so great about in this scene?
Honestly, at one point, I felt like Bates was just actually going to mount her head up and on a wall.
Yeah. What's so great, of course, even about this scene is that already as though Alfred Hitchcock already gives some development about him, of course, like about his relationship with his mother, and actually I think a bit about his childhood with his mother.
Yeah. Now,
And also, before if you say something Silver as well, one of my favorite parts of that scene is the line goes like this: "Every little boy's friend is his mother," or something.
speaking of mother, she's technically another influential character in the story as well, even though in actuality we never really see her. We just hear her voice and see her shadow from the Bates house.
Yep.
Well, we figure, like, at the end, we figure she's been dead the entire time because the skeleton.
Yeah, I mean, hey, who knows? I mean, well, gentlemen, I feel like it's time that we talk about probably one of the most memorable scenes, not just in the movie, but in cinematic history.
The shower scene, I'm assuming.
Exactly. This is by far one of the most legendary scenes in all of screen history. I mean, seriously, every single trailer for Psycho was teasing